It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum, echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear, the pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up.
Well, hello. And you. Welcome into another edition of Braylon Lee's Virtual Tour Live. We are live on tour. Shout out to the 6 people here. Thank you so much. Hey, Linnell Silla, good to see you as always, y'all. I had to push this thing back to 7 because, man, I was just depleted with energy. I just needed at least an hour, but I thank you for the love, grace, and space that you gave me. So, if Oprah went to Amazon, this move could be bigger than that move. I'm going to explain how. So, for those of you who don't know, SiriusXM and iHeartMedia could be merging. Okay, this is a huge deal in the world of radio. Because as you guys know, Howard Stern was on FM terrestrial radio. He got sued a lot for what he said, obviously. And he went over to satellite radio where there is no FCC, overwatch, right? So this is very, very big. How is it going to look? How could it look? And, is it even possible? Let's get into it because Higher is waiting. Low is available. But either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Like I said, shout out to the 21 people that were here. 17 people, 11 people here now. Thank you so much. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. So let's get it started because I saw this article from Variety.com and I just wanted to just breathe with this destination for at least a little bit, right? So here we go here with this. Let's get into it. So from Variety, iHeartRadio, SiriusXM in early merger talks with Ivan Azoff and Apollo Advising. So here we go, y'all. iHeartMedia and SiriusXM are in early talks to join Voices and Forces, rather, with veteran music industry mogul Ivan Azoff and Apollo Global Management, which owns a lot of media, okay, offering to assist and advise on any such deal. Sources tell Variety. News of the potential merger was first reported by Bloomberg. However, a source stated that any reports of financial problems at iHeart are untrue, and also that the companies are looking at a merger, not the acquisition of one by the other. Such a merger would unite and create the largest terrestrial radio network in the United States, iHeart, which claims to reach 250 monthly listeners via its 850 plus stations, and the largest satellite radio network, SiriusXM, with 33 million subscribers as of last year, creating an audio powerhouse. So when I first heard about this, I'm just like, really? Should this even work? But as I started to look around, I'm like, oh, yeah. There's something here. There's something here. There's definitely something here. Give me a moment. Mm, yes, indeed. Hopefully your Wednesday is going well, everybody. Whew, believe me, y'all, I had to push to 7 o'clock because oh my god, man, I would have been knocked out sleep. You know what I mean? If that were to happen, I didn't want to fall asleep on y'all like that. I just no, 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 no. Sure, this is the right one. Yep. Okay. Awesome. We're gonna go back to something that I already pitched a little bit later on. Let's continue on here. So, right here, sources said that the objective of combining the companies would be to provide greater scale and partner with artists to create platforms. However, it is clear that with both terrestrial and satellite radio losing listeners and influence as streaming and multiple other options become increasingly available to listeners, the companies would be stronger together than apart. Hmm. There we go. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Uh, hang on. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Bet. All right. Awesome. We'll get back to that in a minute. 'Cause that's a very critical piece. I pitched that before, but we'll get to that once again a little bit later on. Let me see here. Yes, the sources said that the objective of combining the companies would be to provide greater scale and partner with artists to create platforms. However, it is clear that with both terrestrial and satellite radio losing listeners and influence as streaming and multiple other options become increasingly available to listeners, the companies will be stronger together than apart. The sources stress that the talks are in very early stages and there's no guarantee that a deal will take place. They also said that Arzoff is not in the process of acquiring either of both companies, but is advising along with Apollo. However, having such a hand deal or an ownership stake will be an advantage for Ozoff, whose vast holdings across the entertainment industry include management, Full Stop, representing the Eagles, Harry Styles, and many more. Live Entertainment, Oakview Group, and most directly relates radio performing rights and global music rights. A U.S. based comparator to ASCAP, BMI, and SESAC. Since its founding in 2013, GMR has filed lawsuits against several radio networks alleging low royalty payments. For 2025, iHeartMedia reported revenue of $3.865 billion. Okay, flat when compared to the previous year, with its digital audio group's revenue up 14% and podcast revenue up 0.6%. The news comes less than a week before Sirius XM's 2025 and first quarter 2026 earnings report scheduled for April 30th. That is tomorrow. Reps for iHeartMedia, Sirius XM, and Azov either declined or did not respond to Variety's request for comment on Friday afternoon. Variety will have more on the situation as it develops. So I thought that this was a very interesting destination. Hey, Justine Bow, good to see you, gorgeous. Glad to have you here. I thought this was a very interesting destination, and coming from the world of radio, radio is my first love. I think that radio is the platform of all platforms. It's the only platform you can have 4 to 5 hours of content at one time, right? And I remember something Steve Harvey said. He said, I could lose Family Feud. I could lose the Judge Steve Harvey. I could lose the talk show. But I'm never giving up that radio show. That is 4 hours for me connecting my audience 5 days a week, right? And he reaches, I believe, 7.5 million people every day. Ryan Seacrest still does a nationally syndicated radio show every morning, even though he has, American Idol and Wheel of Fortune and all these other shows, right? Because radio is the foundation of their content flywheel. Anything big happening in their life, they can promote on the radio show. Any new TV show, they can promote on the radio show. Any new business venture, they can promote on the radio show. If they got any friends they want to promote through the flywheel, they can promote on the radio show. This, that, and the third goes through the flywheel of radio, right? So let's continue on. So this is from Barrett Media here. An iHeartMedia Sirius XM merger plays defense, betting on audio's future. Here we go. It's not often that a 5 o'clock news stump raises the eyebrow of the entire audio industry. This past Friday did exactly that. Late in the day, Bloomberg reported that audio giants iHeartMedia and SiriusXM have begun early talks about possibly joining forces, not an acquisition or a purchase, with the two companies that dominate the audio industry exploring a merger to help grow each other. Variety followed Bloomberg's reporting by noting that veteran music industry mogul Irene Ossoff and Apollo Global Management were offering to assist with the merger. That layer adds an interesting wrinkle, which we'll get into later. However, anytime there's a talk of a merger, those within the walls become a bit nervous about what's to come. Both companies have their success stories, but they also have their warts. No merger begins without clear benefits for the companies involved. However, would this one provide more stability and bright future for the tens of thousands of employees who make up both organizations? Let's lay out some details first. iHeartMedia is the largest radio station owner in the United States. The company owns and operates more than 860 stations across 160 markets. It reports about 250 monthly listeners rather, and monthly users. But you can go to iHeartRadio.com as well. And it's the top podcast publisher in the United States according to Nielsen. Last year, the company reported $3.865 billion in revenue, relatively flat year over year, despite podcast revenue increasing 24.5%. SiriusXM is the largest satellite radio service in the United States and boasts the biggest podcast network in the country. For comparison, iHeartMedia ranks third, with Spotify coming in second. The company stated that that podcast revenue grew 41% in 2025 after double-digit growth in 2024. However, SiriusXM reported earlier this year that paid subscribers fell by more than 300,000 in 2025, despite total monthly churn improving by 0.1%. Overall, total revenue declined 2% year over year. Podcast over broadcast. Here's where the rubber meets the road, rather. This merger will be more about podcast audio dominant than anything else. Follow the money and where it's going. Both companies are currently seeing strong growth in podcast revenue on the audio side. Both have their brands attached to some of the biggest names in the space. They also understand that the future success of their business models lies in on-demand audio rather than traditional over-the-air broadcasting. That's not a good sign for traditional radio talent, serving audiences across those 160 stations nationwide for iHeart, nor the numerous talent across the channels on SiriusXM Radio. The second layer involves how podcast consumption is shifting. So, consumption of video versions of favorite podcasts continues its ascent. Now stands at 4 in 10 weekly podcast users. So you see here, 17% frequently watch already, occasionally watch is 23%. very interested, don't currently watch 7%, somewhat interested, currently don't watch 27%, not at all interested, currently don't watch 20%, and don't know, not applicable 6%. So as you can see, all across the flywheel here, everybody feels a way about podcasts. Now, here's the thing, right? Boomers at 33%, Gen X is at 40%, millennials at 51%, and Gen Z is at 60%. Both genders listen and watch. Well, both genders watch video podcasts. And then this is very interesting: spoken word, which is what I'm doing, talk radio, versus music stations. Spoken word 38%, music stations 41%. So it's very interesting that even though they are, watching video versions of their favorite podcast, they still like either a music podcast or a spoken word podcast like this, right? This is more spoken word, but not like poetry spoken word, but commentary, talk radio. So I've always thought podcasts were just specialized radio, right? So when you listen to true crime, when you listen to a true crime podcast, it's true crime radio. When you listen to a technology podcast, it's technology radio. I've always have felt that when it has come to podcasts, right? At their core, iHeartMedia and SiriusXM are audio-first companies, with video components attached to several of their larger podcast brands, but not all. The latest Jacobs Media Tech Survey released last week shows that over the past 4 years, a growing share of weekly podcast consumers prefer video versions of their favorite shows. According to Edison Research, 77% of first-year listeners actively watch video podcasts, surpassing the 75% who listen to audio only formats. So who has owned the video podcast race in recent years? YouTube. In December, Bloomberg reported that consumers watched 700 million hours of YouTube podcasts on television in October 2025 alone. That figure is double what it was just 1 year earlier. That's why companies like Netflix, Meta, Facebook, and Apple are investing in housing video content from podcast creators. This is also where Amazon's involvement becomes particularly interesting. Third-party advising Amazon's background is in artist and talent management. His job is to advocate for the artists he represents and ensure they're maximizing their earnings. Like Anga AJ, he was critical of YouTube last year, calling the platform a behemoth bully when it comes to compensating rights holders. How much does YouTube pay less than their competitors? They are a behemoth bully. They have 2.7 billion monthly active users and more than 60 billion annual revenue. It's the dominant video platform with more hours streamed than Netflix. It's the largest music service with more users than Spotify. In the traditional TV space, it's on track to surpass Comcast as the largest U.S. cable provider. This company now owns audience and content delivery in a way the world has never seen before, said Ossoff. Now, while Ossoff is reportedly advising both sides, would he potentially benefit if those he represents worked in concert, pun intended, with both iHeartMedia and SiriusXM? That's a fair question, because for any merger, you have to ask why and how it benefits every party involved. That question becomes even more relevant when the advisors has a clear issue with the single biggest competitor to the audio podcast space, the same space that iHeartMedia and SiriusXM were dominating together. Let's simplify this. What could this mean? First, any merger this size require regulatory approval. Now, if you guys have been paying attention to the mergers and acquisitions that have been going on, you know that just recently that Live Nation, right, and Ticketmaster have been, found by, a federal court, a federal jury, that they have worked as an illegal monopoly, right? So the regulatory approval will be very rigorous. Like I said, as I get ready to show you how much this makes sense. Still, it makes sense from a content standpoint, but from the logistical and legality standpoint, it can be very dicey, right? So let's continue on here. Let's see. Both sides may see a window of opportunity with the current administration taking an active role in media-related matters. Second, radio's losing ground while digital continues to rise. The latest Jacob Media Tech Survey reinforces that trend. Third, the podcast consumer is now the lifeblood of audio-based content companies. It is no longer traditional radio. Despite the reach that local radio still provides, iHeartMedia has actively used their radio platforms to educate audiences that podcasts are the destination. Huge advantage is that iHeart Podcast has, and of course, people know how big iHeart is on the radio side, but they often don't realize the role that plays in the growth of our podcast business, said Will Pearson, president of iHeart Podcast, to Bartlett Media in March of last year. The reason we are by far the largest podcast network out there is because we're able to lean to this massive megaphone that is the radio station. That massive free megaphone has enormous value. Now imagine opening up to the largest podcast distribution machine in the country. Finally, this is all about control. Why compete when you can collaborate and dominate a category that's already losing ground to video? iHeart adds access to its top-tier podcasts across SiriusXM, creating another distribution hub. SiriusXM gains larger megaphone for its podcast product from free over-the-air radio. Both companies benefit from shared content strategy and programmatic advertising, which could help stabilize revenue for both. Liberty Media, which owns SiriusXM, already has a built-in ownership history with iHeartMedia. And don't forget, the discussions are being advised by Entertainment Power Player with a known issue with YouTube, who would likely benefit alongside the talent he represents. Meanwhile, if the merger goes through, what would this combined entity mean for the rest of the podcast industry? Companies like Wondery, Audio Boom, Audacity, and Spotify will all feel the impact because this merger effectively block out competition in the future of the audio podcast industry. It may not be a monopoly, but would any other company pass go and collect the 200 ever again? Benefits and challenges for employees of both companies. The deal raises familiar concerns about consolidation and redundancy. It suggests that tens of thousands of workers are not the focal point of these companies' long-term strategies. This is more about global scale than local sustainability rather. For creators, it introduces a new gatekeeper with unprecedented leverage. For competitors, it signals that the era of fragmented podcast growth may be giving way to something far more consolidated and far more difficult to penetrate. But zoom out and there's even a bigger implication. This isn't just about competing with Spotify or Wondery. It's about building enough scale to push back against the real giant in the room, YouTube, and its growing dominance over podcast discovery, consumption, and monetization in an evolving video-first world. What looks like a merger is really a cow punch. I bet that scale is the only way audio survives the shift to radio. A belief that collaboration is more valuable than competition, and ultimately a wager that owning the pipes matters more than owning any single piece of content flowing through them. If they're right, this could redefine how audio is created, distributed, and monetized for the next decade. If they're wrong, it will serve as another reminder that bigger doesn't always mean better, especially in a media landscape where the audience and the distributor holds the power. So, very well done by John Mamala. I fully agree with what he is saying here. And if we go back for a minute, when you think about companies, right? Companies, they are mostly determined by their availability and their accessibility. How available they are for the audience and how accessible their audience can get to them. So availability plus accessibility equals your rise or demise. Your availability plus your accessibility equals your rise or demise. Your availability plus your accessibility equals your rise or demise, right? And they are trying to compete with YouTube. They are, which I just thought about something. Give me a moment. Oh my God. This is gonna be fire. What I'm about to do here. Let me see something. Hang on. CLUE. And showcase how this would create social capital adult content scripted content podcasts audio and video 1 2 3 4 this could play into sorry it's all gonna make sense here. Formally, how you spell formally? Formally, no, formerly. There we go. Thank you very much. Come on, work with me, not against me. Awesome sauce. Oh, I'm excited for what I just did. Okay, let's get back to it. Like I said, so SiriusXM and iHeartMe are trying to compete against YouTube. See, here's the thing that's happening, right? iHeartMe and SiriusXM want to culturally appropriate content creators, but not culturally appreciate them. Let me go on the big screen and say that 2 more times. iHeartMe and SiriusXM want to culturally appropriate content creators, but not culturally appreciate them. SiriusXM and iHeartMe want to culturally appropriate content creators, but not culturally appreciate them. So, if you're combining forces, right, to try to gain more content creators, then eventually what you're going to have to do is you may have to create a separate division within this new company for content creators. Because a deal that a content creator would get for iHeartMedia and SiriusXM, or iHeart SiriusXM Media, right? Long name, but hey, that's what we're going with, is different than a Howard Stern, right? Howard Stern has done radio for years, so he deserves his pay, right? That's different than a content creator. But let's continue on. And not to mention, too, SiriusXM does gain a larger megaphone through, free over-the-air radio. But like I said, if you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. Let's continue on here. this right here. So this is from Urban Radio Nation. The potential of iHeartMedia and SiriusXM in the future of radio. Eventually, when the boomers and Gen X become non-factors in the entirety of the media ecosystem, terrestrial radio will become a thing of the past, along with all of those radio towers and the radio spectrum that's currently controlled by FCC. There always will be a need for audio content in some shape or form, even if it's for no other reason than having space for content like news and talk content. Think NPR radio, National Public Radio. And local sports content. Think local sports stations like W Fan, the Fan New York, or 98.5 The Hub in Boston, or 94 WZ WIP in Philadelphia, rather than national sports talk like ESPN and Fox Sports Radio, which are available on SiriusXM. We agree that podcasting and digital content being able to monetize it in the form of ad revenue is the focus of this potential move now and the future. So overall, potential merger makes sense for both iHeartMedia and SiriusXM for that reason alone. The potential talks of a merger was first reported by Bloomberg. The articles behind paywall. See the excellent points of the merger on the potential merger from the midset below. Neither company is just going to hand things over to Spotify or YouTube without a fight when it comes to forms of streaming content. The merger will become a reality with other radio/media companies joining forces to combat the top dogs in the music industry that exploit music artists by avoiding radio and going direct to streaming platforms. Companies like iHeartMedia, SiriusXM, and their parent company, Liberty Media, see the writing on the wall and have turned their focus into podcasting audio content to make money. There we go. Just thoughts about something else. Network which would be for scripted, unscripted, live events, specials, movies, docs, and more. Ooh, I cannot wait till we get to what we're going to get to. I'm so excited. Oh, man. I love it when I'm live with y'all and I'm able to just have fun like this. Not that we don't have fun, but sincerely, to talk about the entertainment industry, media industry, and media entertainment and content industry like this live is so much fun for me. Let's continue on. So a merger will become reality with other radio media companies joining forces to combat the top dogs in the music industry that exploit music artists by avoiding radio and going direct to streaming platforms. Companies like iHeartMedia, SiriusXM, and their parent company Liberty Media see the writing on the wall and have turned their focus into podcasting audio content to make money. The fact is, audio content is oversaturated with podcasts. So imagine this: the way they are promoted, it seems one day we could have 100 million podcasts. Of course, this is an exaggeration, but look at how they are promoted by iHeart and Sirius. So if there are that many podcasts, all you need for a podcast to listen to their own podcast, get one or two friends to listen. Is that the strategy? Seems like it. Do you have a podcast? How about a YouTube channel? Well, not yet. What you think about get a sponsor or still an ad, and then there you have it. It's monetized. Now the situation with the music labels is much more nefarious. They can bypass radio altogether and sell the idea to an artist. It ultimately costs labels less to go directly to streams, and artists get paid less. Artists make more money from radio airplay and a physical product like a CD or vinyl record than that Spotify app. Meanwhile, at the end of the day, media companies struggle to keep their properties radio relevant in the eyes of the listening public. Nobody listens to radio, is what everybody's saying. Now, I brought up some numbers that say otherwise. Let's continue on. But one thing that can never be said about streaming is this: it has yet to create a music superstar. Think of any superstar artist, regardless of genre: pop, hip hop, rock, R&B, country, rather R&B. They built their following through radio. Well, there'll be a day that artist becomes huge without radio airplay. So far, the answer is no. With that being said, here are some more thoughts on potential merger in radio. After viewing the post below, we can conclude people on the third don't know who the DJ is or care to know who the DJ, the on-air personality, is on the radio outside of the morning show of the radio station they might listen to. This falls squarely on the shoulders of radio management, but in most cases, it falls on the radio personality, on-air personality themselves. That's a problem. So here we go.
Breaking news, iHeartMedia is reportedly in early merger talks with SiriusXM. Oh, wow. That'll be a beast if it comes together. The biggest broadcast radio company in the country linking up with the biggest satellite and podcast distribution machine. That's not a merger. That's a consolidation of influence. Because this isn't about radio versus satellite anymore. This is about podcast. I mean, after what iHeart just did with Netflix, and Sirius already has massive reach in podcast distribution. I mean, iHeart is one of the biggest podcast producers in the game as well. You put all of that together, you're looking at a potential audio superpower. I mean, owning content, distribution, and ad dollars across multiple platforms. And look, this isn't coming out of nowhere. I mean, Liberty Media, who owns SiriusXM, already had a stake in iHeart before. So they must have been circling this play for years. But here's the reality check. These are early talks. I mean, nothing is guaranteed. But still, the timing, it's interesting. I mean, radio's losing ground, digital is rising, and instead of competing, the biggest players might just be combining. So what's the real takeaway here? The future of audio isn't being built by smaller creators fighting for scraps. It's being shaped at the top through consolidation. And if this deal goes through, you're not just watching a merger. You're watching the control of audio ecosystem tightening up, story developing.
No, very well said. Very well said. Very well said. I am looking for something here. Oh my God, I love being me. Oh, I love being me. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is absolute genius. I can actually call myself that Wild E Coyote. Okay, by the way, this is from Dom Misa. So shout out to him. Always on it there. So radio on life support. Listen to this.
So we've been talking about radio this week. And look, Jacobs Media just dropped some numbers, and radio's on life support. I mean, no format has the reach that radio does, and it's free. I mean, 93 to 96% of Americans tap in with radio in a week, but they're not staying because it's not firing on all cylinders. Look, here's the problem: programming, lack of evolution, because AM FM still owns 54% of listening. Digital is already at 44%, and the gap is closing fast. The audience is not leaving radio. Radio is leaving the audience. Lazy programming. If you're not breaking records, if you're not developing talent, if you're not actually going live and entertaining people in real time with something fresh, you're losing. I mean, look, the consumer has options, unlimited ones. You guys aren't even exploring new ones. AM FM chips are sitting in millions of smartphones with no API. Hardware built for broadcasting.
Now, there was something back in the day. That I want to show y'all now. It's no longer around, right? But I just want y'all to know that when I say radio has always been me, it's always been me. So this right here was Next Radio, right? So FM radio on your smartphone. And I remember being at the NAB radio show when I was in college in Nashville, Tennessee. And we got the chance to promote that Next Radio was going to give away $10,000. That was like my first big radio commercial. Like, if you download Next Radio on your phone, you can win $10,000 Next Radio live and local wherever you go. Like that was my thing, right? So, of course, as you can see, why Next Radio failed. And honestly, tell you the truth, right? I believe that if this merger potentially happens, maybe bringing Next Radio back, empowering it through iHeartMedia, and then you have a section for Sirius XM content within Next Radio. Just a thought, not telling anybody what to do, but hey, since we're here talking, let's continue on. Here we go. Oh, that was it? Okay, well, that was it. And here it is here.
You know, I was going through the comments on my radio post yesterday, and it's a slow news day. So today I got time. And I keep seeing the same thing. Nobody under 30 listens to radio. Radio's dead, blah, 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 blah. But let's deal in facts, not feelings, because the data shows that 55% of people under 30 still listen to radio every week. Over half, they're still there. So radio didn't die. It just got outpositioned. People aren't staying. The programming sucks. And that's the part people need to focus on. The industry threw gas on that fire. They invested in the replacement. Major labels have ownership stakes, partnerships in platforms like Spotify. So think about the loop. Artists create, music goes to streaming, streaming pays labels, labels own a piece of the platform, and they pay artists pennies. That's not disruption. That's an infinite money loop. So come on. Radio is the one place where a record could actually break through human taste, DJs, and real connection. It got pushed to the side. Why? Because radio introduces something that the system doesn't like: unpredictability. A real programmer can break a record the algorithm never would. The DJ can shift culture without permission, and that's hard to control. So what happens? Radio gets labeled old, streaming gets labeled future, and the entire ecosystem shifts to where the money can be centralized. The crazy part, when radio was in the driver's seat, artists made more money. Records broke bigger, and the culture moved faster. Everybody ate. Now, more music than ever, less value than ever. So yeah, you can talk about resetting the system, but let's be real. That would require artists, creatives, and even fans putting their money where their mouth is and go against the same machine that's funding everything. And most people won't do that because it's easier to complain about the system than to step outside of it. And that is the real problem.
I fully agree with him. I think that streaming, just like AI, right, should be a hey, stream master, welcome in, good to see you, my man. Like I said, I think that streaming should be a resource, not the source. It should be a resource, not the source. It should be a resource, not the source. Just like AI should be a resource, not the source. Just like AI should be a resource, not the source. Just like AI should be a resource, not the source. Because, like I said, radio broadcasts what people could be curious about. Streaming reflects what people embrace. Radio broadcasts what people could be curious about. Streaming reflects what people embrace. Radio broadcasts what people could be curious about. Streaming reflects what people embrace. Because streaming is on demand, right? Streaming is where you go to after you've heard it, right? After you've heard, talk about the TV show, movie, single, album, whatever piece of content, right? After you heard it from the funnel of where you could know about and explore your curiosity through that on a consistent basis, whether it's weekly, daily, nightly, what have you, right? After you have had time through that funnel, then streaming is where you cultivate that connection, right? So let's continue on.
So I'm consulting this artist, got like 15 million combined subscribers, followers, or whatever. And I put together a plan for them that super serves their core demo, then breaks them out internationally. But it starts with radio in their core region. And they kept telling me, why would I care about radio, social media, this, that, and Spotify and YouTube? Look, there's 8.3 billion people in the world. Spotify has 751 million users. YouTube sits at about 2.6 billion. It sounds global until you realize that audiences overlap heavy. Same people, different app, same loops. Now, look, compare it to radio. In the US alone, radio reaches 93% of adults monthly. In China, like 600 million listeners. Globally, estimates still put radio at 2 to 3 billion people. You need both. And radio hits people in real environments. Cars, jobs, stores, cities, life, not just login users. 43% of low-income adults don't have home broadband. 24% don't even own a smartphone. In rural areas, 22% of people don't even use the internet. And you can look at hhs.gov if you don't believe me. So it feels big online. But then you got to ask, is it big in the world or is it just big in the loop? Because stars don't come from dashboards. Yes, Justin Bieber was broken off of YouTube, but he became a star at radio. I mean, it comes from real world validation. The internet is an amplifier, but radio incubates. You skip that step, you don't build stars. You don't build numbers that Look, let me give you a perfect example. Still DRE went to like 93 on the top 100, but you would swear that it went number one. What's the difference between Jermaine Dupri and Dr. Dre? About 10 number one hits. Jermaine is a much bigger producer, but Dre was promoted as a solo artist on radio. Story developing.
Factual. Very, very, very factual. And I think you guys know what I do by now, right? I take publicly available information that anybody can find, and I present to you with my media perspective. That's all I do. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. So that is that there. Now, since we're talking about video podcasts, right? I covered this article when I dragged Milagro Graham's ass, right? Check this out. From iHeartMedia. This came out last year, December 22nd, 2025. iHeartMedia offers creators and publishers a unique new video podcast platform. Highlighting its creators' first mission, iHeart will seamlessly support both audio and video podcast distribution within iHeartRadio for free. iHeart will seamlessly support both audio and video podcast distribution within iHeartRadio for free. iHeart will seamlessly support both audio and video podcast distribution within iHeartRadio for free. From New York City, I was about to say New York City, but yes, New York, December 22nd, 2025, iHeartMedia, the leading audio media company in the world, announced on that day it will be extending its career's first mission by expanding its podcast platform offerings to seamlessly support both audio and video distribution within the app and web versions of iHeartRadio at no cost to creators. In early 2026, iHeart will give creators the ability to distribute full-length video directly into iHeartRadio for free, in addition to their existing audio distribution. When this video feature launches, creators will be able to upload their podcast episodes, include full-length video versions through their standard RSS feeds for seamless distribution at iHeartRadio, the number one digital radio service, which also includes access to millions of podcasts. This new feature will deliver on three important factors. Number one, creative integrity. Podcasters will control how their content is presented. If they want to offer a full-length video version of their podcast, it will be supported. And if a creator prefers to distribute as audio only, that will be supported too. iHeart will provide the tools. Creators will maintain creative ownership. iHeart will provide the tools. Creators will maintain creative ownership. iHeart will provide the tools. Creators will maintain creative ownership. Monetization strategy consistent with podcasting. Creators will retain control over their monetization with no revenue share required to iHeart. By offering this distribution for free, consistent with audio podcast distribution platforms to date, iHeart will offer podcasters the most cost-effective strategy for launching and expanding their podcasts without compromising either their creative integrity or their financial autonomy. Creators will retain control of their monetization with no revenue share required to iHeart. Creators will retain control over their monetization with no revenue share required to iHeart. Okay. Number three, creator control over where content is hosted. iHeart will not require creators to have their videos hosted and served from an iHeart-owned hosting provider in order to make video available on iHeart. Just as they do in audio, creators can decide where they want their videos to be hosted and served. While audio remains the backbone of the podcast medium, as well as its primary source of audience connection and the reason for the industry's explosive growth, video podcasting is emerging as a completely separate incremental form to audio in the same way that podcasting evolved as a new layer on top of broadcast radio, said Bob Pittman, chairman and CEO of iHeartMedia. At iHeartMedia, creators come first. Providing this new video distribution capability for free to our creators is an additional testament to our continuing focus on creator success. It is consistent with how and why the podcast industry was built to begin with. As content has become more popular, podcast creators have become true stars. We've seen a natural trend. Creative audio content is becoming more valuable to platforms, said Conal Bryan, CEO of the iHeartMedia Digital Audio Group. This makes sense when you have some of the best creators in the world making some of their best content in podcasting, and then that's going to drive other types of content too, like video. As the number one podcast publisher, iHeart provides scale, credibility, expertise required to navigate the complexities of the growing and evolving podcast landscape. We are fully committed to working with creators to help them grow and retain their audience, ensuring that they reach the widest audience possible and maximize their financial performance, which now includes video, because that's what our creators want, deserve, and should expect. Now, no other word on where this is supposed to come out. But what do I always say, y'all? If you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. Now, for those of you who don't know, Howard Stern renewed his contract at SiriusXM. SiriusXM Ray. I was going to say SiriusXM Media, but SiriusXM Radio. And one of the things that they were going to do was they were going to come out with this. And I believe it was going to be a physical product too. So you know how like you could have like the SiriusXM radio in your house. It was going to be that, but with a video screen, so you can actually watch different, radio shows on that screen, right? So let's continue on here. Sorry, I'll just try myself. I just did it. Introducing SiriusXM Radio, SiriusXM Video rather. Excuse me. Let me flip that reverse and wind it back. Introducing SiriusXM Video, exclusive performances, interviews, and behind-the-scenes highlights. Right. Following the successful launch of Howard Stern Video, which Howard Stern's always had this. It was Howard Stern TV for a long time before they did the video thing. SiriusXM expands video offering on the SiriusXM app to give subscribers a new way to connect to their favorite SiriusXM shows and personalities. More new videos daily from across the SiriusXM lineup, including Kevin Hart, Jamie McCarthy, Sway Calloway, Joe Osteen, and more. So this press release came out November 13th, 2019. SiriusXM that day announced it has expanded SiriusXM video offering to include new performances, interviews, and in-studio moments from more of SiriusXM's acclaimed programming lineup. SiriusXM first expanded into video content in 2018 with Howard Stern Radio, a highly successful ongoing showcase of Howard Stern's best in-class celebrity interviews, adventures with his ever-growing stable of edgy, unusual staff and characters, in-studio performances from legendary upcoming musicians, and selections from the multi-decade Howard Stern library, which is being actively curated and presented to highlight past audio and video from Howard Stern that is compelling and timeless. Howard Stern Video brings new fans into the world of Howard Stern and provides a new dimension of entertainment for longtime fans. More recently, simultaneous with its expansion of streaming access to over 30 million subscribers, SiriusXM began to preview selections from its broader video archives of shows and channels. SiriusXM Video now features dozens of new clips daily from across SiriusXM's lineup of exclusive music, talk, and sports channels, featuring in-studio performances, interviews, and only at SiriusXM moments from Straight from the Heart on Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud radio channel, The Morning Mashup, and Hits 1 in Hollywood, SiriusXM Hits 1, Jamie McCarthy, The Jamie McCarthy Show, EW Live, which will be Entertainment Weekly Live, The Just Cagle Show, Sex with Emily, and The Michelle Collins Show on SiriusXM Stars, Sway in the Morning, Shade 45, Mad Dog Unleashed with Christopher Mad Dog Russo, Mad Dog Sports Radio, The Storm Warren Show, and Music Row Happy Hour with Buzz Brainerd on the Highway, Joel Osteen Radio, The Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM Urban View, Busted Open on SiriusXM Fight Nation, Jim Noor and Sam Roberts, The Jason Ellis Show, Bingington, and The Kovo and Rich Show on Faction Talk, Jeff Lewis Live and Reality Check on Radio Andy, Truck Nation on Volume, SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio, and so much more, and much more than SiriusXM Vault. SiriusXM Video is available on the SiriusXM app on phones, computers, tablets, and other connected devices in the home. We are thrilled to deliver video from a broad array of our incredible talk, sports, music, comedy, and special programming. Nowhere is there more depth and breadth of content than across the SiriusXM universe, and video is a perfect complement to the amazing radio moments that happen here every day, said Kelly Flynn, SiriusXM's Senior Vice President of video program. We are giving our subscribers more new and exciting ways to connect with their favorite guests, performers, hosts, and shows. Now you can see what you've been hearing. SiriusXM Video is included in SiriusXM's most popular subscription packages, including SiriusXM All Access, SiriusXM Select, SiriusXM Essential Streaming, and SiriusXM Premier Streaming. Go to SiriusXM.com/subscriptions for more details on the programming and packages that SiriusXM offers subscribers in the car, at home, on phone, online, and on connected home devices. So there is that. There, of course, there's the media contacts there. Andrew Fitzpatrick at andrew.fitzpatrick at SiriusXM.com. Kevin Burns at SiriusXM.com. So, are you noticing a pattern here? So, SiriusXM has already been doing video since 2019. And iHeartMedia is going to be allowing content creators to upload their audio and their video podcasts for free. That means Braylon Lee's virtual tour can be on iHeart, on the iHeart platform for free. I think I have 1,706 shows. So imagine all of that on the iHeart platform. Okay, so for free, which would be just amazing, right? So here's how big this got, right? Now, remember, y'all heard that Netflix reached out, right? Has reached out to SiriusXM, right? And here from the Hollywood Report. Netflix approaches SiriusXM for video podcast licensing. This follows outreach to iHeartMedia talent agents as the streamer makes a big push for podcasts. So here we go. SiriusXM has approached Netflix rather has approached SiriusXM rather to license its video podcast as a part of its major push into the space. And Insider tells the Hollywood Reporter the deal will likely involve its exclusivity of the video podcast on the platform, meaning they will not appear on Netflix's main rival YouTube. The source says no deal has yet been reached. This follows reports of Netflix approaching iHeartMedia with a similar deal, and they did do that deal, by the way. And a Hollywood Reporter report of the streamer sending dozens of requests to agents at William Morris Endeavor, United Talents Agency, and Creative Artists Agency in an attempt to sign on more video podcasters. SiriusXM did not respond to a request for comment. The satellite radio company's podcasting network was recently named the top podcast network in the United States based on reach, according to some research. Popular podcasts on the service include Call Her Day, Smartless, Daylight NBC, Morbid, and Rotten Mango. This follows Netflix's first major podcast deal with Spotify last month. As it seeks to compete with YouTube in the video podcast boom, Netflix announced a partnership with Spotify in October for a select number of video podcasts from Spotify Studios and The Ringer, including the Bill Simmons podcast, The Zach Lowe Show, The McShay Show, The Rewatchables, and Conspiracy Theories. Netflix declined to comment. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarantos has followed the idea of bringing video podcasts to the platform in April 2025, citing their popularity and saying the company is constantly looking at all different types of content and content creators. The move also helps Netflix compete with YouTube, which has risen in the ranks as the most popular platform for podcasts. As the popularity of video podcasts grow, I suspect you'll see some of them find their way to Netflix, Sarantos said at the time. So, now, as you guys know, iHeartRadio is free. If you go to iHeartRadio.com, you can listen to any iHeartRadio station, on your phone, your tablet, your computer, your phone, your tablet, your computer, your desktop. You can even listen to it on your TV, right? I think Alexa and the Google Gemini clock. I have like a Google clock over here. It's been a long time since I used it, but it wouldn't need to do back in the day. So I think it still works. I just got to find the charger. But anyway, did you know that SiriusXM also had a free plan? Wait, I'm frozen, y'all. Give me a moment. There we go. Did you know that SiriusXM had a free plan? You ready? I got it for you right here. Get SiriusXM's ad support free access plan. Your trial may have ended, but you can still enjoy a variety of ad support channels for free. No credit card, no subscription fees, no catch. Now, this was not the case all the time right here. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. So number 1, you tap into SiriusXM on your vehicle's touchscreen. Number 2, tap listen. Enjoy our free ad support service, no credit card required. So you tap listen. And then 3, explore the featured entertainment categories and pick a channel. So here we go with the channels. Your free access plan includes dozens of SiriusXM channels. See the different entertainment categories below to check out everything that is available in-car listening only. Okay, so you can't get SiriusXM free access on your phone, on your laptop, on your desktop, on your TV, or on your tablet. But I'm sure that they probably want to expand to that. But let's see here. So for music, you have channel 2, SiriusXM Hits 1, right? You have channel 9, 90s on 9, channel 10, Pop 2K, channel 11, the 10 spot, channel 8, 80s on 8, channel 25, Classic Rewind, channel 41, SiriusXM Turbo, channel 34, Lithium, channel 34, Octane, channel 34 Lithium, channel 37 rather Octane, channel 44 Hip Hop Nation, channel 46 The Heat, channel 50 SiriusXM Fly, channel 56 The Highway, channel 56 Y2 Country, channel 52 BPM, channel 154 In Vivo, channel 155 Land Vault, CH Holy Radio, CH channel Holy Culture Radio, channel 362 Grown Folks Jams, channel 75 BB King's Bluesville. So those are all the channels you can get for free in your car. Okay. For sports, channel 80 ESPN Radio, channel 83 Fox Sports and SiriusXM, channel 85 NBC Sports Radio, channel 375 Westwood One Sports, and Westwood One is one of the biggest radio distributors of content for radio stations in the country. With the news, you get news channels as well. Channel 150, Channel 115, Fox News headlines 24/7. Channel 116, series CNN rather. This is a simulcast of the CNN network. Channel 118, MS Now simulcast. Channel 120, BBC World Service. Channel 122, NPR Now. Channel 119, PRX Remix, Independent Public Radio. And Channel 169, CBC Radio 1 there. So that's what you get for the news. And for talk, Channel 110, Dr. Radio. Channel 129, the Catholic Channel. Channel 130, EWTN Radio. Channel 141, Her Voices. I think that's a female channel, if I'm not mistaken. Channel 142, HBCU. Channel 143, BYU Radio. Channel 144, Korea Today. Channel 145, Slam Radio, the first satellite radio station run by high school students. I wish I could have been a part of that back in the day. That would have been cool. And then for comedy, right here, you have Channel 95, Comedy Central Radio, and Channel 104, Conan O'Brien Radio. So you have all those channels in your car for absolutely free, right? Now, I want to show you something, right? Because some of y'all may not know your history, right? Now, there was a thing called Radio Disney back in the day. I used to listen to it all the time. I think it was 99.5 on Radio Disney, right? So Radio Disney was the kid radio station, and it served a huge audience because kids could listen to grown radio, right? So they had to have their own radio station. So Disney doing what they do, they got into radio broadcasting, right? And so check this out right here. So this was the WDW radio studio, right? Right here. And guess what? Radio Disney would broadcast, live actually, right? Inside Disney parks, right? But their operations were out of Dallas, right? So yeah. So right here, radio stations from around the world, radio stations from around the United States would come down to Disney for a few days and broadcast from the studios. Disney would get a bunch of mentions, like the DJs got a trip to Florida, plus nationally syndicated radio shows. Super Bowl, Mike Harvey would broadcast from the studios every week. Radio Disney started doing a couple shows from there too, but I don't think it was the main studios. Those were probably in New York or LA. I remember a Christmas Day special from one of these Orlando studios that was on Radio Disney. Universal Studios Orlando used to have a similar radio studio. I'm not sure if it's around anymore, right? So when you think about the magnitude, right, of radio, right, and how cultural it is, how powerful it is, and everything in between. It really is a one-on-one thing that you could actually listen to the radio and feel, right, that you were a part of something big. And I think that energy is needed in today's society because think about it, we have too much access to be that close to everything, which is a blessing and a curse, right? I mean, there are days where I'm like, my God, can we not have social media? But then there are other days where it's like, well, without social media, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing, right? So it's a double-edged sword. Now that was for radio. That was for Radio Disney, and here it is here. The Radio Disney logo right there, as you can see. So, yeah. Now, if you ever at Universal Orlando Resort and you happen to walk down the street, that is the Universal Studios Radio Broadcast Center, right? So, here it is here. I'll show you people. So right there, that is an actual radio studio where you can do your live radio show, which I am, and they do the Discover Universal podcast from there. I am so surprised that no nationally syndicated radio DJ has decided to do a content partnership. As you can see, there is Skibby and Shaggy looking inside the radio studio. I think that's Fred, yes, and Daphne is not paying attention to the radio studio. Of course, she's not. So this one, I believe, is in Despicable Me form right here. And then right here is no, not that one. This is Transformers, I believe. So yeah. The next time you're in Orlando and you see that is an actual legitimate radio studio, it is so cool. It says from radio shows to podcasts, radio press tours to voiceover recordings, our studio offers a virtual space for all your broadcast needs. We invite you to explore the possibilities. The facility also includes a green room space dedicated to talent and guests using the broadcast facilities. So there you go. Now, you're like, Braylon, where are you going with this? You're going somewhere with this. Hey, King Culture, good to see you. It's like, you're going somewhere with this, aren't you? But like I said, I'm building you up to it, right? Because I said, if Oprah went to Amazon, this could be bigger than that move. Let's continue on. Did y'all know that there is a hotel brand called Reverb from Hard Rock right here? Now, this one's in Atlanta. They do have other locations to come. A new hotel now live on the air. Music brings people together. Reverb is the place to stay. Check into Reverb, the place for music fans. The Reverb Hotel is a new concept for Hard Rock hotels. More than a place to sleep, it's a destination. Everything about Reverb was designed for customers in mind, even our name, which comes from the word reverberation. The effect that sound has on its surroundings reflects our experience. We are in a place that moves to the rhythm of our guests, and that rhythm is helping our guests. So that is the hotel. Their beautiful hotel. It reminds me of the Mirage that they decided to tear down because they thought it would be smart to have a Guitar Center hotel in the middle of the strip. Now, the only reason why they could have torn it down is if the Mirage was old and foundation-wise for the structure of the resort, they need to redo it. But I think they could have just did extreme makeover on the inside. Would have been a lot better because, I mean, honestly, that's a historical landmark. And they should have got the National Historic Landmark Preservation to make that landmark so it could not be torn down. At least the damn volcano. Good Lord. Right here, uncommon experiences, uncommon setting. Whether they want a quiet place to work, somewhere to relax and socialize, or a way to connect to local music, culture, and events, we do this by offering signature design elements and artistic programs throughout public areas to encourage socializing. Reverb rooms from boardrooms to bedrooms are efficient, technologically advanced, and provide a customizable and engaging guest experience. No. What is that? What in the hell is that? Oh my, Braylon, you've done it again. You've done it. You mother-ucker, you've done it again. Reverb Radio by Hard Rock. Let's read this, shall we? Reverb Radio is Reverb's take on the classic ballroom design to resemble a radio station, sized to seat 8 to 10 people comfortably. The space includes a soundproof interior, a large round conference table, and a 55-inch smart monitor and whiteboards. You can actually do a podcast there, or you can do like a live radio broadcast from that studio. Now, I love utilizing my own content, right, to prove a point. I do. So let's go back to this. I'm going to pull this up. Those of you who don't remember this live right here, I talked about could malls be the critical cultural compound component to bring equalization for the future of media right here. This video presented by Braylon Lee explores the concept of whether modern malls can serve as critical cultural infrastructure in the future of media. The host argues that malls have the potential to transition from mere shopping destinations into social entertainment ecosystems that act as physical hubs for content creation and community engagement. So American Dream, as case study, the host highlights American Dream Mall in New Jersey, knowing its unique combination of massive attractions like Nickelodeon Universe, Big Snow, and the DreamWorks Water Park. He emphasizes that these spaces provide a physical social quad where people can relax and recover, which is essential for post-pandemic culture. The Clock Out Link Up concept, a central proposal for a 2-hour live television variety show filmed inside the mall. The show would feature celebrity interviews, musical performances, shopping-based games like Dream Dash, Receipt Roulette, and panel discussions on pop culture. The goal is to turn the mall into a weekly Friday night destination that rivals major entertainment hubs. Integration of media production, the host envisioned malls functioning as active content studios by utilizing existing spaces like stores and restaurants as portals for interviews and segments. Malls can become social media factories capable of creating content for networks and streaming platforms. Strategic economic vision, a detailed revenue projection is presented, suggested by incorporating tourist packages, broadcast rights, and brand sponsorships. A mall can generate significant annual revenue while creating a new, vibrant cultural movement. Diversification of content, the host encourages content creators and businesses to move beyond being a one-trick pony and embrace diversification to reach higher levels of success. Using this mall as a studio mall is a prime example of thinking outside the box. Now, I did this live right here 13 days ago on April 15th, 2026. Literally the next day, right here, well, when your hypothesis is matched with a real life conclusion. So right here, this video features content creator Braylon Lee during his virtual tour live broadcast. The core of the discussion revolves around the future of malls and the concept of transforming them into social entertainment ecosystems or social entertainment ecosystems. The highlights the hypothesis. Braylon argues that malls, specifically the American Dream Mall in East Rutherford, New Jersey, can serve as critical infrastructure of the media industry. Shortly after Braylon proposed a strategy for a weekly live variety show at American Dream, the mall announced the launch of the Dream Live Performing Arts Center, a 3,000-seat theater. So give me a moment here. So I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. Right about here. So this right here that you guys are about to see, that is a 3,000 seat theater. Okay. Everybody else says theater. We said theater. Okay. So you see the dual LED screens, right? You see the stage right there. That's going to be inside American Dream Mall. Talk about a different screen there to interact with the audience and things of that energy. Probably like a LED marquee of, who is performing and all that stuff. And also this too could be like highlighting like it's almost showtime, get your food and all that stuff. So that is the Dream Live Performing Arts Center. 2 stories on levels 2 and 3 of the garden, of the mall's garden area, right? So that's inside the mall, right? And so what I said was, well, hey, listen, if y'all having this, if y'all are having this theater inside the mall, then guess what? Now we can do a split screen of me down the atrium and then somebody in that theater, right? And this is going to be the bar. Right here outside the theater. I'm sure they'll be serving bar food, right? So then right here, proposed strategy. Braylon outlines a detailed plan for a 2-venue dual broadcast live strategy concept called Clock and Link Up Friday Night Live. He envisions using the mall's atrium for interactive games and fan segments. Using the Dream Live Performing Arts Center performances, comedy, and high production segments, utilizing split screen broadcasts and shot tosses between the two locations to create an engaging, integrated entertainment experience. Economic impact. Braylon estimates that such high energy activations could generate significant revenue through tourism sponsorships and broadcast rights. Now, I know what you're thinking. Braylon, who's going to help you pull this off? Give me a moment. DJ Envy takes on executive role at American Dream, shaping nightlife, automotive events, and live music. Okay? Right here, DJ Envy is officially stepping into a new power seat. The longtime media personality entrepreneur has been named the creative cultural strategist at American Dream, the massive 3 million square foot entertainment and retail destination just outside New York City. The role puts Envy at the center of the American Dream's cultural programming as the venue looks to deepen its presence in music, nightlife, automotive culture, and experiential entertainment. It also reflects a broader industry shift by tapping authentic cultural voices to shape how consumers engage with large-scale destinations. Culture is about connection, and we said American Dream is the perfect platform to bring together music, nightlife, family, food, cars, and community in a way that feels real inclusive. I'm excited to shape experiences that people truly remember. This appointment builds on Envy's influence far beyond radio. As a longtime co-host of the Breakfast Club, he has helped shape national conversations across entertainment, politics, and business. His annual Drive Your Dreams car show has also grown to a major fixture in automotive culture, drawing tens of thousands of fans. At American Dream, Envy will guide creative concepts across nightlife experiences, car culture events, celebrity shopping activations, culinary programming, retail pop-ups, family events, live music, and social media-driven storytelling. DJ Envy represents authenticity, credibility, cultural relevance, said Adam Petrick, Chief Marketing Officer for American Dream. His perspective and influence will help us create experiences that feel culturally meaningful, innovative, and deeply connected to our community. Details on Envy's first slate of events and activations are in the coming months. Now, I want to show you one more thing that really solidifies all this. You ready? Y'all see this? So this is the Coca-Cola Social Bowl, right? So this is a lounge where you can chillax and drink Coca-Cola and, other products, right? So it's very nice. Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. Now, this is the only one that I know of in American Dream Mall, right? So you can sit there and recharge and everything else. But right here is a podcast studio. That's an actual podcast studio. So what if DJ Envy said, hey, you know what? What if we put in an iHeart Media content creation studio in every mall across the country? We team up with Simon Malls to make this happen. Okay? And SiriusXM is merging with iHeartMedia. Then iHeartMedia SiriusXM or iHeart SiriusXM Media could have content hubs all around the country, right? So that is the pitch. And here's the thing. These content hubs can do just about anything, right? They will be mostly for podcasts, for the iHeartRadio podcast, for the iHeart podcast platform, and for the SiriusXM podcast platform. So that's what the content studios will be primarily known for. But from time to time, you can do a live, nationally syndicated broadcast from these studios as well. So, with that being said, let's read this here. Here's a grounded, forward-looking blueprint for what an iHeart SiriusXM merger could, should, and would realistically look like based on the current reporting and industry dynamics. Reality check. What's actually happened. Talks are in early stage and not guaranteed to close. The deal will combine iHeart's 860-plus terrestrial stations and massive reach, SiriusXM subscription and podcast, plus satellite ecosystem advisors like Irene Arzov and Apollo Global Management are involved, signing Suddenly, a financial strategic restructuring play, not just creating merger. Translation: this isn't just radio getting bigger. This is about building a unified audio super platform to compete with Spotify, YouTube, and Netflix. The big idea, the audio operating system of America, a merged company becomes the number one end-to-end audio ecosystem: free, paid, live, in-car streaming, podcast, video, audio. Right? Think free radio, iHeart Premium subscription, SiriusXM, podcast, and Tower Network. Both advertising engine combined scale distribution everywhere: cars, phones, and smart speakers, televisions, tablets, laptops, desktops. Yes, indeed. There. So, concept plan: three-tier ecosystem. Tier one, free mass reach engine, iHeartRadio ad support. Also, to the Sirius XM free access plan as well. Terrestrial simulcast, podcast discovery layer. Tier two, premium subscription flywheel, Sirius XM subscription, exclusive channels, Howard Stern style talent, ad free music and talk bundles, and then tier free super premium access audio plus includes live podcasts, live events, and video podcasts, Netflix style expansion trend. Content strategy: merge iHeartRadio personalities and SiriusXM's premium talents, build audio first franchises, video podcast extensions, live touring, intellectual property. This aligns with the industry shift toward video podcast and platform exclusivity. Distribution nomination: cars, SiriusXM strength, smartphones, iHeart strength, smart speaker streaming bundles for future Netflix, YouTube integrations. Brand plan. So here it is. Here some new parent brand options. iHeart XM, XM Audio Group, iHeart Sirius Audio Network, ISAN. I do believe that maybe it should be iHeart Sirius XM. iHeart Sirius XM. Yeah, I think that probably be the best way to do it. Positioning same at every voice, every moment, everywhere. Game plan: phase one, stabilize 0 to 12 months. Merge ad tech and sales teams, cross promote content across platforms, bundle subscriptions. Get SiriusXM free with iHeart usage, reduce redundant costs. Phase two, integrate 12 to 24 months. Unified app experience, one login, one recommendation engine, combined podcast networks. Launch bundle subscription tiers. Phase three, expand 24 to 48 months via podcast networks, live events plus touring, your lane, and international expansion. Marketing plan: core inside audio is everywhere, undervalued and fragmented. The merger fixes fragmentation. Campaign ideas: sound is everything. Launch campaign: talent-led rollout. Howard Stern top iHeart host. Massive cross-platform takeover. Radio, streaming, and social. Growth levels: bundle strategy. Car manufacturers. Free Sirius XM trials and iHeart integration. Telecom bundles. Verizon AT&T style. Career economy exclusive podcast deals, revenue streaming platform, cultural moments, live audio festivals, pop culture talk shows. This aligns directly with your MLG vision. Logistics plan: regulatory hurdles, FCC scrutiny, radio dominance, antitrust concerns, IO monopoly risk. Sirius XM already holds a dominant satellite position. Tech integration: merged ad tech stacks, user data systems, streaming platforms, debt and financial engineering. iHeart still carries debt pressures. Apollo involvement suggests restructuring, possible asset spinoffs. Talent contracts: high cost talent, Stern level deals, need retention strategy, new career pipeline. Business model evolution: before iHeart ad support radio, Sirius XM subscription radio. Now after it, hybrid model, ad subscriptions, events, and licensing. What this could become: best case scenario, the Netflix of audio and live culture, dominates cars, podcasts, talk radio, live events. Mid scenario, strong ad and subscription bundle company, competes but doesn't dominate Spotify or YouTube. Worst case, regulatory blocks, integration failure, debt pressure kills innovation. Strategic take: real talk, this merger only works if they stop thinking like radio companies and start thinking like Spotify platform, Netflix content, Live Nation events. Otherwise, it becomes two legacy companies getting bigger but not better. Your opportunity point: this is where your vision connects. Your major league gaming, entertainment, television network idea fits perfectly as a content vertical inside this ecosystem or partner platform, because the merged company will need youth culture, live formats, interactive entertainment. Final snapshot: what it should be: a unified cross-platform audio cultural empire. What it could be: the operating system for entertainment audio. What it will be: realistically, a high-stakes transformation attempt. Success depends on talent, execution, not scale. So, right here, so it's Sirius XM So Sirius XM could be iHeartRadio Plus. Overall, could that be a new division of Sirius XM? Short answer is very unlikely to be simple as Sirius XM becomes iHeartRadio Plus. That will actually undermine Sirius XM premium positioning, a smart structure, and what the industry would expect, more like a hybrid brand system, not a full rename. So, SiriusXM premium subscription, add exclusive talent, paid value, iHeart Media, massive reach, free, ad supported, upscale value. If you collapse SiriusXM to iHeartRadio Plus, you dilute premium perception, risk losing high paying subscribers, turn luxury product into upgrade tier. That's not how premium brands survive. Most realistic structures. Option one, iHeartRadio Plus is a new super tier, most likely. Structure iHeartRadio free. iHeartRadio Plus paid bundle includes Sirius XM content, includes podcasts and ad-free listening. In this case, Sirius XM doesn't disappear; it becomes a content engine inside the paid tier. What this feels like: Spotify premium, YouTube premium, very clear for consumers, strong growth play, risk. Sirius XM brand gets softened over time. SiriusXM stays premium. iHeart powers the funnel. Safest play structures iHeartRadio free discovery layer. SiriusXM premium subscription layer. Think iHeart Watch for free. SiriusXM pay for the best version. What this feels like: Hulu free ad tier, Disney Plus premium, or even radio HBO style upgrade. Protects SiriusXM value, keeps brands clean, slightly more complex ecosystem. Option three, new parent brand, both survive under a more strategic new company, SiriusXM Audio Group, or SiriusXM or SX or SXM. Say that three times. iHeart Audio Group, iHeart Radio free plus ads, SiriusXM premium plus subscription. This is what big mergers usually do. What this feels like: Google, YouTube plus Google search, Meta, Instagram, and Facebook. For best long term strategy, no brand delusion. Delusion. Um, what I'm trying to say, brand dilution. That's what I meant. Diluting the pride. I'm investor friendly. So which one should they do? If they're thinking long term and not just short term growth, option three plus option one hybrid keeps SiriusXM as a premium brand. Introduce iHeartRadio Plus as a bridge product. Eventually bundle everything into one ecosystem. What would look like to users: free user gets listens on iHeartRadio, gets ads, see promos for upgrades. Paid user iHeartRadio Plus unlocks SiriusXM channels, exclusive podcasts, ad-free listening. Super premium user SiriusXM Direct still exists as the download subscription, higher tier offering. What they shouldn't do: kill the SiriusXM name, make everything iHeart, confuse users with too many overlaying apps. Real world translation: iHeartRadio Plus works best as a gateway, not as a replacement. SiriusXM will remain the crown jewel. Power move: if they're smart, one app, three tiers, two iconic brands. iHeart reach, SiriusXM revenue plus convergent engine. So that is everything you need to know of what it could look like. Now there is a radio format that I pitched a while back to help underperforming music format radio stations. So here is that there. So iHeart brand plan, media, entertainment, pop culture radio format. So working brand name options: iHeart Pop Culture Radio, iHeart Entertainment Network, iHen, iHeart Now, iHeart Culture, iHeart Trending. File naming can be more contested. Plan is format agnostic. Brand plan to become the daily eye open destination for what's happening now in entertainment, media, fandom, and culture across Hollywood, streaming, gaming, creators, sports, adjacent entertainment, and social media. Brand promise: if it's trending, breaking, or shaping culture, you'll hear it here first. Brand positioning: not music radio, not news radio, not talk radio. It's culture radio, fast, social, personality driven, platform aware. Target audience primarily 18 to 34, digital native, socially connected, heavy consumers of streaming content, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, podcast, pop culture news. Secondary 35 to 49, cord cutters, entertainment first listeners. Brand personality: smart but fun, inclusive, internet fluent, fast moving, career friendly, opinionated but not political. Game plan, format, and programming strategy. Entertainment, media, pop culture radio, a clock-based format that can plug into underperforming contemporary hit radio, hot adult contemporary rhythmic, alternative urban adult contemporary. Content pillars: entertainment news, 40%, movies, TV streaming, music, culture, not just spins, celebrity headlines, Number two, career economy, 20%, TikTok trends, YouTubers, influencers, Twitch, and gaming culture. 15% fan and fandom culture, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, anime, gaming, reality TV fandoms. 15% call interactive listener content, call-ins, voice notes, polls, social reactions. And number five, sponsor 7-10% brand integrations and studio takeovers. So a sample programming grid, 6 to 10 a.m., the cultural wake up. I believe that should be 5 to 10. Let's maximize it. Entertainment headlines, social trends, viral moments recap, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now trending, deep dives, career interviews, social commentary, 2 to 6. Pop culture drive, fan interaction, live interaction rather, fan debates, breaking news, 6 to 10 p.m. After hours reality TV recap, streaming watch along, audio fan call-ins, overnights and weekends, podcast replays, specialty shows, live event coverage. So, marketing plan, launch strategy, phase one, format flips, something new is coming, countdown, celebrity voice teases. Phase two, national rollout, press release via iHeartMedia, podcast network, cross promotion. You see there. Talent-led social launches. Phase three, community activation, local influencers. As contributors, listener voice notes featured on air, pop culture watch parties, digital first amplification, TikTok and Reels clips daily, YouTube studio cams. Now, I did that, Black Story. I had my laptop, I had my phone, I was on Periscope and Facebook Live at Black Squirrel Radio. Yes, indeed. I was one of the first to get into that before they started teaching it at Kent State. YouTube studio cams, podcast versions of all shows, the newsletter, the daily culture drop. Talent strategy, national flagship host, local co-host per market, career contributors, rotating celebrity correspondence or content career correspondence and solution correspondence. Advertising strategy, high value category, streaming platforms, film studios, gaming companies, tech brands, Almove, QSR, that's fast food, everybody. Fast fashion and beauty, rather, ad products. Sponsor headlines, branded host segment, live reintegrations, event sponsorships, podcast network extensions. Concept plan, why this works for underperforming stations. Music discovery has been streaming, culture conversation has moved online. Radio can now own live real-time conversation. This format reduces music licensing costs, increased talk engagement, extends easily into podcasts and video, builds talent IP versus on-rotation dependency. Flagship show concepts trending in 10, hourly culture headlines, career call-up, weekly influencer interviews, fan take Friday, listener debates, watch party radio, live TV, audio companion, internet versus reality, virtually versus reality. Live events and extensions, the iHeart Pop Culture Awards, fan conventions, red carpet audio coverage, career meetups, studio audience tapings. Logistics plan, station conversion requirements, minimal studio upgrades, existing talk infrastructure works, podcast recording setup recommended, social video cameras are installed, staffing model, one programming director, two to three hosts, one digital producer, shared news/entertainment desk, national central editorial team, talent booking, social command center. Content pipeline, daily rundown from national desk, local inserts per hour, syndication ready content blocks, podcast conversion automatically. Monetization logistics, national ad inventory, local sponsorship packages, branded podcast spinoffs, live event ticketing, success metrics, time spent listening, social engagement, podcast downloads, advertising demand, market lift versus prior music format, big picture vision. This becomes the ESPN of entertainment culture, iHeart's answer to digital pop culture media, a talent incubation engine, a bridge between radio, podcast careers, and live events. Now, just because they have not done this format yet does not mean it's not going to happen, because I believe it's eventually going to get to that. So then, of course, I asked, press release, all that good stuff. New culture first radio brand designed to revitalize underperforming music stations and connect fans to what's streaming now. iHeartMedia launches new pop culture entertainment radio format to reimagine the future of radio. iHeartMedia, the number one audio company in the United States today, announced the launch of a bold new entertainment media pop culture radio format designed to meet the evolving listening habits of today's audiences and breathe new life into underperforming music format radio stations. The new format rolling out under the working brand iHeart Pop Culture Radio or iHeart Pop Radio. It would have to be Pop Culture Radio or Pop Content Culture Radio, something like that. Positions iHeartMedia as the first major radio company to fully reimagine terrestrial radio as a real-time culture platform. centered on entertainment, news, career, culture, fandom, streaming, and social conversation. This launch reflects how audiences actually consume culture today. Um, Executive name from iHeartMedia. Music discovery has moved to streaming conversation, context, and culture still thrive in live audio. This format allows radio to do what it does best, connect with people in real time while aligning with modern entertainment habits. A new kind of radio experience, unlike traditional music-driven formats, the new iHeartMedia entertainment radio format delivers breaking entertainment, pop culture news, rather, social media, and viral trend coverage, creator economy, and influencer storytelling, fan-driven discussions and call-ins, live interaction across radio, digital, social platforms. The format will feature a mix of national flagship programming and local market voices, allowing stations to maintain community relevance while also benefiting from iHeart's natural scale and content infrastructure. Designed for growth, built for today's audience, targeting listeners ages 18 to 34 will crossover appeal to 35 to 49. The format is built for digital native audiences who follow culture across streaming services, TikTok, YouTube, podcast, gaming, and social platforms. Key daily program blocks will include morning entertainment trend briefings, midday career and culture conversations, interactive afternoon drive shows, evening fandom streaming and reality TV coverage. On-air content will be repurposed into podcasts, social clips, and video-first formats across the iHeart ecosystem. A strategic opportunity for advertisers. The new format opens premium opportunity for advertisers across entertainment streaming, tech, gaming, automotive, fashion, and lifestyle categories. Brands be integrated into sponsor cultural segments, host, read, brand storytelling, podcast, video extensions, live events, experiential activations. This format delivers something brands are hungry for: engaged, cultural-driven audiences and scalable integrations across audio, digital, social, and live experiences. Rolling out nationwide, iHeart plans to introduce the format through a phased rollout, beginning with select markets where underperforming music stations are well positioned for conversion. Additional markets, live events, and branded franchise are expected to follow. This launch further strengthens iHeart's position as an industry leader in this launch further strengthens iHeartMedia's position as the industry leader in audio innovation following its success in podcasting, live events, and multi-platform entertainment. So, of course, flagship morning show, 6 to 10 a.m. local or national syndication, the culture wake up, what the world's talking about before your group chat wakes up. So terrestrial radio, iHeart app, podcast for 7-minute YouTube and social clips. So the morning destination, the go-to morning destination for entertainment headlines, viral moments, career, influence, culture, streaming, fandom talk, audience-driven conversation. This is not shock jock, not political, not news-driven. It's culture first, smart, fun, and socially native. Primary audience 18 and 34, secondary 35 to 49, cord cutters, heavy social streaming users, podcast listeners, fans of pop culture commentary, lead host, the connector, charismatic, curious, culturally fluent, drives conversation, interviews talent, keeps spacing tight, cultural analyst, news voice, brings context, explain why something matters, grounded, informed, incredible, internet native, creative voice, deeply plugged into TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, brings humor, means an online point of view, represents Gen Z energy, optional fourth chair rotating comedian, influencer, or market-based co-host. So 6 a.m. to 6:30, trending in 10, fast-paced culture briefing, top entertainment headlines, viral moments, celebrity and creator news, social trend recap, trending in 10, sponsored by brand. 6:30, 7 a.m. The internet's arguing one major debate, listener calls, voice notes, social posts, hosts, debate both sides, TV finale, celebrity moment, viral take. 7 a.m. to 7:30, the cultural breakdown, deep dive segment, streaming release, industry news, strikes, deals, and launches, career economy moments, family stories. 7:30 to 8 a.m. career call up, a live or tape interview with an influencer, YouTuber, podcaster, actor, or artist focused on process, not promotion. 8 a.m. to 8:30, pop culture check-in, listener engagement, bot DM reactions, voice memo, spoke results, market specific inserts. 8:30 to 9 a.m. watch this tonight, streaming TV recommendations, what's dropping today, what's worth skipping, fandom events. 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. reality check, reality TV recap, competition shows, social media drama, fan hot takes. Before you log on, follow headlines, internet moments you missed, cultural calendar, releases and premieres, TV Smart Show. 9:30 to 10 a.m. Fan Take Friday, listener debates, career spotlight, emerging talent, streaming court is it overrated or elite, culture confessions, anonymous listening stories, hot take or now, rapid fire opinions. So the podcast feed structure, full show, same day, individual segments broken out, training intent as a daily micro podcast, video strategy, studio cams, vertical clips for TikTok and Reels, YouTube highlight compilations, host POV content, high value sponsorships, streaming services, movie studios, gaming platforms, tech brands, both QSR, fast food and lifestyle, branded segments trending in 10, presented by Watch This Tonight, powered by Career Call Up with why the show works, low music dependency, high engagement, social first, easily syndicated, time forward, podcast ready, event friendly, long-term extensions, live studio audiences, red carpet broadcast, convention coverage, award show mornings, live podcast tours, branded pop culture events, success metrics, event time listening, TSL, podcast download, social engagement, advertising demand, market lift versus previous format. The Culture Wake Up becomes the Good Morning America Pop Culture Radio, a talent incubator, a content engine, the heartbeat of iHeart's entertainment format. So now I added to the iHeart Sirius XM ecosystem, right? So it's the front door of the entire ecosystem: broadcast radio, iHeart stations nationwide, satellite radio, Sirius XM channels, streaming, Sirius XM app and iHeart Radio app, podcast on-demand distribution, video clips, YouTube, TikTok, and social platforms. It becomes the most widely distributed daily audio show in North America. ESPN Sports Center, equivalent for pop culture. Instead of sports, it's entertainment news, career economy, streaming awards, viral internet culture, fan ecosystems. This positions the merged company as the real-time operating system for pop culture radio. A dual network simulcast engine. The show runs in 3 synchronized layers. Layer 1, terrestrial radio, iHeart localized versions in major markets. Local hosts insert regional culture and events. Advertising-driven scale. Layer 2, national clean feed, premium guests, no local breaks. Extended interviews. Layer 3, digital, both platforms unified, full show replay, clip-based distribution, interactive posts, listener submissions. So then this is the on-air format, enhanced for merger scale. Hey, one person, welcome in, just talking about some radio. The future of iHeart Media and SiriusXM could be merging. So I'm just giving some thoughts on what this could potentially be. Glad to have you here. So 6 a.m. to 6:30 global trend map now expands to U.S. global entertainment headlines, streaming drops, Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime, and YouTube. That's Amazon Prime. Viral social moments worldwide. SiriusXM brings international depth. iHeart brings U.S. mass market speed. 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. the internet debate, cross-platform listener voting, radio, app, and social. SiriusXM celebrity guests join live. iHeart local markets feed in reactions. 7 a.m. to 7:30 Hollywood plus streaming breakdowns, studio system news, creator economy updates, platform wars, Disney, Netflix versus YouTube. This becomes the industry intelligence block. 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. creator live line, a major upgrade in the merge model. YouTube creators, TikTok creators, YouTubers, Twitch streamers, Hollywood talent, music adjacent pop culture figures. SiriusXM provides premium access. iHeart provides massive discovery. 8 to 9 local and global culture switchboard. iHeart local stations insert regional events, local entertainment stories, fan culture stories. SiriusXM maintains national continuity feed. This is where the scale becomes unmatched in audio. 9 to 10 a.m. the cultural wrap, weekly streaming ranking, meme economy recap, what you missed online while you were asleep. SiriusXM premium interviews and podcast drops. Merger advantages. Why this works, no comparator can match. FM radio reach, iHeart satellite exclusivity, SiriusXM streaming dominance, combined apps. Talent pool expansion, iHeart personalized mass market radio stars, SiriusXM personalized premium interview and celebrity access, together a full spectrum ecosystem. Advertising monopoly and audio culture. Brands now combine national radio reach, premium ad-free satellite segments, podcast integrations, video extensions. Number 4, content recycling engine. One show becomes a 4-hour, 5-hour live broadcast, 10 plus to 20 plus podcast clips daily, 30 to 50 social clips daily, 1 to 2 YouTube compilations. Network positioning inside merged company, SiriusXM division, premium culture channel, long celebrity interviews, long form entertainment coverage, iHeart division, mass reach culture radio network, localized morning show versions, advertising scale engine, share franchise, cultural wake up, the flagship global brand. bigger strategic outcome. This merger enables something neither company can do alone: the creation of the world's first real-time audio culture network, where radio, local relevance, satellite premium access, streaming on-demand depth, social discovery engine, final positioning statement, the culture wake up isn't just a morning show anymore. It's the daily synchronization point for global entertainment culture across every audio platform in North America. So now we have the culture network format, a unified entertainment media pop culture radio system. She did an overview in the merger context. In the combined iHeartMedia and SiriusXM entity, the companies create a new umbrella division, the Culture Network, a cross-platform audio ecosystem for entertainment, media, careers, fandom, pop culture. This becomes the replacement engine for declining music formats, the flagship identity layer for FM satellite streaming, the audio equivalent for ESPN entertainment culture. New radio format, Culture Radio. Format name, iHeart Sirius XM Culture Radio. Branded locally as iHeart Culture, Sirius XM Pop Culture Channel, Culture FM, local stations, the Culture Network Radio. Format position, this is not music radio, talk radio, news radio. This is real-time entertainment, media, career, and pop culture conversation radio. What it replaces, this format is designed to convert underperforming contemporary hit radio stations, hot adult contemporary stations losing younger demos, rhythmic stations with declined music discovery relevance, FM stations with low engagement, high churn. Number 3, brand architecture. Tier 1 national flagship brand, the Culture Network, operated jointly by iHeart and SiriusXM. Tier 2 distribution layers, iHeart broadcast layer, local FM stations, regional customization, ad-supported scale engine, SiriusXM satellite radio, premium national clean feed, celebrity interviews, extended storytelling, and a unified digital layer, SiriusXM app and iHeartRadio app integration, podcast, social clips, social distribution. So the content pillars, right? So pretty much the same thing, but I'll go over again. Streaming entertainment culture, 40% Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime, and YouTube news, movie and TV updates and ships. 20% career economy, TikTok creators, YouTubers, Twitch personalities, influencer economy. Number 3, fandom culture, 15% Marvel, DC, Star Wars, anime, gaming fandoms, reality TV ecosystems, internet and viral trends, 15% memes, social discourse, and viral debates. And number 5, interactive audience content, 10% calls, voice notes, polls, and live reactions. Like I said to y'all, Culture Wake Up runs simultaneously on iHeart FM stations, SiriusXM Culture Channel, streaming apps, supporting network shows, trending live now, real-time internet culture updates, career hour, influencer interviews, digital talent spotlight, streaming tonight, TV, streaming recommendations, fan wars, debates between fan communities, culture report, industry analysis, and entertainment business news, how this saves underperforming music stations before music rotation declining in relevance, streaming replaces discovery, low engagement, low differentiation. After conversion, stations become local culture hubs. Instead of playing today's hits, they now own the conversation about what people are watching, sharing, and talking about. Example, localization. The conversion station in any market becomes national feed, the Culture Network, local insertions, local celebrity news, city events, influencer interviews, and repo fandoms. Merger advantages, why iHeart SiriusXM makes this powerful. Number 1, full audio monopoly and culture. iHeart, massive territorial reach, SiriusXM premium subscription reach, together total audience coverage. Number 2, talent super ecosystem, iHeart DJs and radio personalities, SiriusXM celebrity interview access, shared influencer career pipeline. Number 3, advertising dominance, brands can buy national broadcast reach, premium satellite exclusivity, podcast integrations, video clips, and social extensions. Content scale engine, one show becomes FM broadcast version, satellite premium version, podcast episode, 2050 social clips daily, streaming app content. Digital social strategy, culture clip engine, every 7 becomes TikTok clips, Instagram reels, YouTube shorts, and podcast micro episodes, real-time audience loop, real-time volume across apps and radio, audience size topics, viral topics, influence next hour programming. Number 9, brand, network brand position, brand promise. If it's shaping culture, it's happening here first. Brand personality, fast, social, native, career aware, entertainment first, opinion driven but non-political, fire merger outcome. This combined strategy the first true global culture audio network where radio becomes conversation first, style becomes premium access, stream becomes on-demand intelligence, social becomes discovery engine. Big picture result, the merge iHeartMedia and Sirius XM doesn't just expand radio, it creates a unified, always on pop culture operating system for audio. So, like I said, everything I'm saying tonight is just my opinion. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I'm following the red bouncing ball. Now, I got something for Disney. And I think Disney could really use this. Like, for real. They really, 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 really could use this desperately because they don't need to get rid of Hulu. That is their adult platform. The app does not need to go away. You just need to invest in Hulu, which I have it right here for you. So, yes, indeed. So this would be a content partnership between iHeartMedia, SiriusXM, and Hulu within the broader Walt Disney Company, framed as a unified engine for social capital financial growth, with Hulu function as a premium funnel layer for audio and video storytelling, cultural programming, and creator-driven media. This concept also assumes the evolution of Hulu into Hulu Global Media, formerly A&E Global Media conceptually, and the Hulu Television Network, formerly A&E Television Network conceptually. So the core brand idea, the culture frequency network, a unified media ecosystem where radio becomes the real-time cultural engine, podcast becomes intellectual property incubators, stream becomes the monetization expansion layer, creators become distribution partners, not just talent. Core principle, everything starts at audio, everything scales at video, everything ends as owned intellectual property. Number 2, ecosystem architecture. Layer 1, iHeartMedia mass reach plus live culture. iHeartMedia live radio amplification. Morning shows become cultural engines. Live pop culture breaking news. Music plus story drops. Syndicated influencer radio hours. Function awareness plus virality plus cultural timing. Layer 2, Sirius XM premium audio and creator studios. Sirius XM Holdings premium creator podcast network. Subscription only deep dive content. Athlete, comedian, and artist hosted channels. Career residency studios. Function monetization, depth, and loyalty. Layer 3, Hulu, the funnel and visual expansion layer. Hulu, the audio video transformation pipeline. Podcast, docuseries, unscripted, scripted adaptation, career shows with cinematic production, Black, Latino, Asian, LGBTQIA plus content verticals. Function, IP scaling, intellectual property scaling, video monetization, global distribution. Layer 4, the Disney integration engine. The Walt Disney Company, intellectual property, licensing pipeline into the Disney Plus ecosystem, cross promotion with ESPN, FX, and ABC, franchise expansion, film, series, live events, and merch. Function, long-term franchise value, and that also includes the Disney parks as well. I just wanted to mention that. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Brand strategy, positioning from sound to screen to society. Brand pillars, cultural speed, iHeart creative depth, Sirius XM visual scale, Hulu intellectual property ownership, Disney ecosystem. Identity shift, radio not legacy, real-time cultural operating system, podcast not niche, intellectual property C factory, Hulu not streaming library, creator television network, Hulu not only family, multi-demographic intellectual property vault. I've always said Disney does not know how to respond to adult content. That's why they need to bring back Touchstone Pictures as their movie studio and then Touchstone Studios as their TV and streaming division, right? So there is that. Let's continue on. Content strategy, core engine, audio, video pipeline, Hulu funnel model. Every major show follows this path. iHeart Live Moment, viral radio segment, celebrity interview, Sirius XM, deep version, extended podcast conversation, Hulu series adaptation, docuseries, reality or scripted dramatization, Disney ecosystem expansion, franchise specials, and global licensing. Flagship content types, Culture Shock Live, breaking news, meet pop culture radio, influencer calls and segments, the creator room, TikTok, YouTube creators developing TV pilots, unmuted stories, Black and minority storytelling, vertical, documentary, and scripted hyper pipeline. That would be what was that? The Ox Collective. That's what that would be. Podcast Cinematic Universe interconnected into podcasts and social properties that merge into Hulu series. And of course, right here, influencer career strategy, career tiers, tier one, global influencers, YouTube and TikTok megastars, cross-platform shows. Tier two, cultural tastemakers, DJs, comedians, athletes, podcasters, and commentators. Tier three, local viral voices, city-based radio, TikTok hybrids. Career monetization model, revenue share on podcasts and video, Hulu pilot funding pipeline, Sirius XM subscription royalties, iHeart ad amplification payouts, Career Studios, iHeart, Hulu, Career Labs, Sirius XM audio video incubators, marketing strategies from ear to everywhere. If you hear it first, you see it next. Channel strategy, iHeart Media, live radio takeover, celebrity surprise drops, tour integrations, Sirius XM subscription exclusives, Career podcast teasers, Hulu, trailer first strategy for podcast shows, binge drops of adapted content, viral mechanics, heard it on iHeart first, TikTok clips, heard on iHeart first clips rather, TikTok reaction change, podcast TV transformation, reveal videos. Number 7, social capital strategy. This system generates social capital by cultural authority. iHeart becomes the first voice of culture. Number 2, career elevation. Unknown careers become Hulu intellectual property stars, where they become a Hulu celebrity, like how there's a Bravo celebrity, they'll become a Hulu celebrity. Community ownership harnesses fill early access to culture, representation, equity, structural investment in Black, Latino, Asian, LGBTQIA plus creators, and many, many more all around the world. Financial capital strategy, revenue streams, advertising, iHeart plus Hulu, hybrid ads, dynamic audio to video ad conversion, subscription, Sirius XM and Hulu bundling, premium creator channels, intellectual property licensing, Disney ecosystem, series, films, and global remakes, creator economy, revenue share, platform monetization splits. Disney financial upside reduces content acquisition risk, increased owned intellectual property. Pipeline expands Hulu's ARPU, strengthens global streaming competitiveness. Logistics plan, infrastructure, unified content pipeline system, share metadata across iHeart, Sirius XM, and Hulu. Career production hubs, LA, New York City, Atlanta, Chicago, audio first studios, video capture, artificial intelligence content conversion layer, audio automatically indexed video adaptation, cross-platform rights management, unified licensing across radio, podcast, streaming. Workflow content originates at iHeart, Sirius XM. Performance data identifies breakout intellectual property. Hulu greenlights visual adaptation. Disney evaluates franchise potential. Number 10, the Hulu global media transformation concept. Hulu evolves from a streaming platform into Hulu Global Media, a hybrid A&E style documentary authority, created for a streaming platform, a global cultural network subdivision, the Hulu Television Network. Structured like legacy cable networks, but creator-driven, data-driven, different first. Content verticals, unscripted culture, reality docuseries, Black and minority storytelling channel, creator-led experiential formats, podcast cinematic adaptations, live cultural events. Final strategic outcome, this partnership creates a cultural supply chain, radio, podcast, streaming franchise, a career-based, career-powered media economy. Rather, creators become studios, not talent. A Disney intellectual property factory engine, and Hulu becomes the incubator for global franchises. One-line summary. This system turns iHeart Media plus Sirius XM Holdings plus Hulu into a unified cultural pipeline where audio creates attention, streaming creates scale, and the Walt Disney Company captures long-term intellectual property value. Why? Because you are finally responding to adult content. Hulu is definitely going to be a critical missing piece, without a doubt. So, I think y'all get the point. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But that's not all, y'all. That's not. I wanted to make sure that we could cover every single thing. So I said, map out a $1 billion revenue projection model for Disney and Hulu from the system and transform Disney's freeform network into the Hulu Entertainment Network for unscripted content, talk shows, game shows, live events, entertainment, pop culture, media, news, commentary shows, fandom shows, and so much more. Different than the Hulu TV network, which would be scripted, unscripted live event specials, movies, documentaries, and more. So here it is here. So below is a structured $1 billion revenue projection model and network transformation blueprint for evolving Disney's linear asset with Walt Disney Company's freeform into a dual Hulu ecosystem. So Hulu Entertainment Network, Hen Culture, live unscripted pop media fandom, and the Hulu Television Network, which would formerly be the A&E network, which would be scripted prestige, documentary films, and specials, anchored inside Hulu as the streaming entertainment as the central streaming funnel. So imagine there is a Hulu television network tab inside the Hulu streaming app platform. Imagine there's a Hen tab inside the Hulu platform. So you have Hulu streaming platform, you have an entertainment network, television network, which is the unscripted side, and then the Hulu television network, which is more for the traditional television, right? So, number one, big picture economic model, total system goal, $1 billion to $2.5 billion annual incremental revenue within 3 to 5 years. Revenue is split across 5 core engines: advertising, linear, streaming, hybrid. Number 2, subscription uplift, Hulu bundling effect. Number 3, content licensing and simplification. Number 4, live events, experiential intellectual property. Number 5, career-driven monetization ecosystem. So, network transformation strategy, free form into the Hulu Entertainment Network, or HEN, the Live Culture Network of America, what becomes a 24/7 entertainment ecosystem for pop culture news, fandoms, influencer talk shows, game shows, live reaction programming, social commentary, music and celebrity culture, internet culture coverage. It's right here. Key difference, layer, focus, Hulu Entertainment Network, culture, live, and viral, Hulu Television Network, storytelling, prestige. Tone, fast, reactive, and social for the Hulu Entertainment Network. Cinematic and premium for the Hulu Television Network. Talent, influencers, and hosts. Hulu Television Network, writers and directors. Format for Hulu Entertainment Network. Daily live. Hulu Television Network season base. Origin social media first for Hulu Entertainment Network. Hulu Television Network studio first, right? So the HEN revenue model year 3, stabilized advertising, primary driver. Inventory, live talk shows, fandom programming, pop culture news blocks, influencer-led shows. And by the way, you can have like fandom documentaries and stuff on the weekends, but unscripted, right, is way cheaper to make than scripted television, right? So the revenue for the Hulu Entertainment Network will be $450 million to $700 million annually. Drivers, real-time engagement, ads, shoppable entertainment, influencer integrated ads, cross-platform Hulu targeting. Hulu subscription upside mechanism, HEN increases retention, reduces churn, bundled into Hulu base tier upgrade funnel, live culture access tier, which means you get Hulu and you also get access to the Hulu Entertainment Network inside the Hulu streaming platform. Revenue impact, $150 million to $300 million incremental subscription value. C, brand sponsorship and integrations. Examples, gaming brands sponsoring fandom shows, music labels sponsoring live pop segments, fashion brands, and influencer talk shows. Revenue, $100 million to $250 million. Live events and digital ticketing, extensions, live fandom award shows, influencer live towards HEN, live pop culture week, monetization ticketing, pay-per-view streaming, sponsorship overlays, $100 million to $200 million. E, career-led economy, model revenue share shows, career-owned intellectual property incubation, monetized audience funnels, revenue $75 million to $150 million platform take rate. So, in total revenue, year 3, $875 million to $1.6 billion. $875 million to $1.6 billion. $875 million to $1.6 billion. Do you see now why it is stupid for Disney to get rid of? Once again, I think you get the point. Now, let's go from the Hulu Entertainment Network to the Hulu Television Network economics, right? Positioning, premium storytelling of the Hulu ecosystem, content types, scripted drama, prestige documentaries, limited series, cinematic, unscripted, global co-productions, and feature films, right? So subscription streams, subscription value layer, drives premium tier adoption, reduces churn significantly, $400 million to $800 million indirect uplift. B, content licensing, global sales, international distribution, Disney ecosystem licensing, $250 million, $600 million. Original intellectual property monetization, franchises, Disney films, parks, and merch. Long tail, $500 million, not fully annualized. So Hulu TV networks total direct annual value, $165 million to $1.4 billion. $650 million to $1.4 billion. $650 million to $1.4 billion conservative realization. Okay, they making money. So the combined Hulu ecosystem mile. So the Hulu Entertainment Network, $875 million to $1.6 billion. The Hulu Television Network, $650 million to $1.4 billion. The total Hulu media ecosystem, $1.5 billion to $3 billion. That Disney is wasting away because they want to get rid of Hulu and fold it into Disney Plus. Because Disney Plus is trying to become and I'm telling you, when this move happens, Disney is going to have egg on their face. I promise you that. Disney is not going anywhere. I promise you. Disney's going to be around for a long time. But what they are doing, they are screwing themselves up the river without a paddle. Okay. All right. Moving on. How this creates Disney-wide value inside the Walt Disney. Sorry, I'm scratching my back here. Ooh, that feels good. Right. Oh, yeah. Right. Share. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. Ooh. How this creates Disney-wide value inside the Walt Disney Company ecosystem. Hulu becomes an intellectual property factory, podcast, shows, franchises, create content, Disney Plus expansion pipeline. Remember, we pulled up that article about what's on Disney Plus and talked about the fact that the Disney executives talk about YouTube every day. This would definitely help that out. Freeform, this is the Freeform rebrand effect. Freeform legacy value becomes the Hulu Entertainment Network. Younger demographic dominance, 18 to 34 core, places cable style youth TV with digital native culture TV. And if they were smart at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which I rebranded as Walt Disney's Imagination with Studios, they could have the Hulu Entertainment Network studio, content studio inside the park, right? Or they could take the theater where the Frozen sing-along is and make that the Hulu Entertainment Network theater, right? So, C, cross division synergy, ESPN synergy, sports commentary shows on Hulu Entertainment Network, FX synergy, scripted IP transitions from Hulu Television Network. Not to mention too, there could be a after show podcast show on the Hulu Entertainment Network. So you watch it on Hulu, but then you gotta go to the Hulu Entertainment Network for the podcast after show TV show, right? And then Disney Plus synergies. Number 3, franchise scaling layer. Number 7, audience economics, target core 18 to 34 culturally active viewers, behavior model 70% social for discovery, 60% multi-tasking viewing, 80% influencer driven consumption. Value metrics, time spent on Hulu 25 to 40%, subscription retention 15 to 30%, ad engagement 2 to 4 times uplift, career driven views 3 to 6 times virality. Why this model works: audio first culture engine, iHeart plus SiriusXM Synergy creates constant content flow, streaming as monetization layer. Hulu captures scaling value, linear rebrand, free form into the Hulu Entertainment Network, unlocks dormant cable inventory, intellectual property pipeline rather into Disney, reduces content risk, increases franchise yield. Number 9, final structural outcome. The ecosystem becomes a culture to franchise machine powered by live audio, social creators, and streaming intellectual property scaling. One line executive summary, transforming Freeform into the Hulu Entertainment Network and pairing it with the Hulu television network inside Hulu creates a unified cultural and storytelling engine that can generate $1.5 billion to $3 billion annually while feeding long-term franchise value into the Walt Disney Company ecosystem. So there is that. Now I asked them to, add SiriusXM and iHeart via into the Hulu Entertainment Network and the Hulu Entertainment Network and the Hulu Television Network. So, but only works if you treat it less like 3 separate companies stapled together, more like a single integrated media operating system. So, number 1, Disney Culture Stack, DCS, 3 core layers, audio engine, attention generation, iHeart Media, massive live culture, radio virality, SiriusXM Holdings, premium podcast, creator audio IP, and this could fuel the comeback of Radio Disney and D23 Radio, the creation of D23 Radio, right? Function, create what people are talking about. That's layer 1. Layer 2, video culture ecosystem, Hulu front door, inside Hulu. Hulu Entertainment Network can formally freeform transformation, roll live culture, plus internet television includes pop culture news, influential talk shows, fandom programming, music and celebrity commentary, internet reaction shows, live social shows. This is where audio becomes viral visual culture. B, Hulu Television Network, HTN, World Premium Storytelling Franchise Engine includes scripted series, prestige documentaries, cinematic unscripted, specials, live events, podcasts, series adaptations. This is where culture becomes intellectual property. Layer 3, Disney Franchise Engine, the Walt Disney Company. This is for Disney Plus, FX, ESPN Synergy, Global Licensing, Film Division, theme parks, and merch. This is where IP becomes capital. Intellectual property becomes capital. Full integration model, updated flow, content pipeline, audio origin, iHeart, SiriusXM, breaking cultural moments, influencer conversations, viral interviews, podcast, intellectual property feeds. Step 2, culture amplification, the Hulu Entertainment Network, radio clip becomes trending topic, influencer reaction shows, live content programming. Video 3, video expansion, Hulu Television Network, top performing content becomes docu-series, scripted series, scripted adaptation. Step 4, Disney intellectual property monetization, global licensing, franchise expansion, Disney Plus exclusives. Number 3, updated revenue model. Now we reallocate revenue correctly across the stack. IO engine revenue, new addition, iHeart Media SiriusXM combined value revenue streams, advertising, radio syndication, live radio plus digital audio ads, 600 million to 1.1 billion. That's number 1. Number 2, premium subscription audio, SiriusXM core uplift creator channels and exclusive podcasts, 500 million to 900 million dollars. Podcast intellectual property licensing pipeline, Hulu plus Disney adaptation rights, 200 million to 400 million dollars. So audio engine total, $1.3 billion to $2.4 billion. Okay, that's just the audio engine. Then, of course, Hulu Entertainment Network, unchanged but now stronger due to audio pipeline, $900 million to $1.8 billion. Hulu Television Network, HTN, $700 million to $1.5 billion. So then you have the full set total revenue, audio engine, iHeart plus SiriusXM, $1.3 billion to $2.4 billion. Hulu Entertainment Network, $9 billion to $1.8 billion. And the Hulu Television Network, $7 billion to $1.5 billion. So the grand total ecosystem value, $2.9 billion to $5.7 billion annual run rate potential. That's how much Disney could be making. And once again, Josh Damar is the CEO of Disney. And I'm just here on YouTube. I can't believe it. My God, today. Number 5, strategic role of each brand, iHeart Media, real-time cultural radar, fastest cultural signal detection system. signal detection system, rather. Viral audio first distribution, SiriusXM Holdings, premium audio IP, intellectual property incubator, deep career monetization, subscription engine, high value podcast, intellectual property creation, Hulu culture to visual transformation layer, Hulu Entertainment Network culture and TV, Hulu television network studio storytelling, and then Hulu where the loop is staying in constant motion. The Walt Disney Company, the global intellectual property monetization engine that turns attention to franchises, converts streaming success into global assets. Number 6, why this combined model is powerful. Audio becomes the cheapest content acquisition tool. Radio plus podcasts generate infinite intellectual property seeds. Number 2, Hulu becomes the only true IoT pipeline. No fragmentation between formats. Number 3, Disney gets a trend to franchise machine. TikTok moment, radio, podcast, Hulu, Disney Plus. Number 7, the file system name, optional branding, the Disney culture stack, subsystems, iHeart Pulse layer, SiriusXM depth layer, Hulu entertainment network culture layer, Hulu television network story layer, Disney legacy of franchise player, and Hulu the foundation of keeping the loop together, if I could add that. One line executive summary: by integrating iHeartMedia and SiriusXM Holdings into Hulu's dual network or tri-network system inside Hulu, the Walt Disney Company effectively builds a $3 billion to $6 billion annual culture to intellectual property pipeline where audio generates attention, Hulu scales into television, and Disney converts it into global franchises. So, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. Okay, I'm gonna drive my camera now because we done the whole show for over 2 hours. We have. Like I said, I thank God I got that break because, child, if I would have came at 6 o'clock, y'all would have had a very low energy show. I don't want to do that to y'all. So we're going to take a little bit of a commercial break, and we will be back with more Braylon's Virtual Tour Live right after this. We are live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this. Roll it.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Braylon Lee got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum. Echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and two things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced and more. This show, this brand and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be. Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth. We're free. Trust and belief is entertainment. News done away with. Braylon Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. Just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to that, people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not been seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
In Disney's 102-year history, there have been many defining moments and countless achievements. Today, we celebrate another thrilling moment, the creation of a spectacular new Disney theme park resort coming to Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi is a place where heritage meets innovation, a place where we preserve our past while designing the future.
Bringing a Disney theme park resort to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi marks a historic milestone in our journey as a global family destination.
The 7th Disney theme park resort destination represents a new frontier in theme park ambitions. Our resort in Abu Dhabi will be the most advanced and interactive destination in our entire portfolio. The location of our park is incredibly unique. It's anchored by a beautiful waterfront, which will allow us to tell our stories in completely new ways. Ultimately, this project will be a celebration of what's possible when creativity and progress come together.
What we are creating with Disney in Abu Dhabi is a whole new world of imagination and experience that will inspire generations across the region and the world.
This collaboration represents a powerful fusion of Disney's unmatched legacy in storytelling and Mira's commitment to bringing world-class entertainment to our guests.
Abu Dhabi's vision for the future is to create a legacy for generations to come.
Disneyland Abu Dhabi will be authentically Disney and distinctly Emirati. An oasis of extraordinary Disney entertainment at this crossroads of the world. It will bring to life our timeless characters and stories in many new ways, becoming a source of joy and inspiration for the people of this vast region to enjoy for generations to come.
Caesar. Just look at him. Politician. General. Author. Ruler. Man. Legend has it, he's not only stared into the belly of the beast, he's had it for dinner. Here he's free to relax, or party, or relax, or party, or relax, and party. His is a world of opulence, excess, and the occasional impulse buy. Not one to rest on his laurels, he's famous for ushering in a new age of entertainment. So, for anyone seeking a place where the sun never sets on a good time, all this awaits.
I am Caesar, and I approve this palace.
I'm loving it. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
I love you so much. I had to tell you twice. Welcome back in to Braylon Lee's virtual tour live. Glad to have all you here in the building with me. What a epic live we have had tonight. Like I said, if Oprah went to Amazon, this could be bigger than that move. Potentially, if iHeartMedia and SiriusXM do every single thing that I said, and Disney gets out of their own way and stop this dumbass decision of folding Hulu into Disney Plus. If those three companies do that, they will all be making a lot of money. Okay, so that is basically the word right there. So it's been quite the week for content. My God. We talked about Zeus this week. We talked about Milagro Grams, Clay Thompson, Megan Stein. We talked about Disney and how they are in terms of do they keep fandoms or do they care about history at all? Talked about the Looney Tunes comeback. I'm talking about Taylor Rooks paying off medical debt for her community. Opportunity for content creators to go to the whole film festival. We just talked about a lot this week. And that includes Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then of course 90 Day Fiance, the single life. It's always something going on over here. And y'all know on Thursdays I usually don't go live, but I may go live with something. Just stay tuned to your notifications for Thursday. If I don't go live Thursday, I will definitely do this Friday. Because this one is a very interesting opportunity. It's another media live we'll be doing. So, like I said, I love doing stuff like this, breaking down the media industry with y'all in real time. And like I said, I know it is black ass for this of what I said. No one can do a bigger media move than Oprah. What are you doing saying that? I'm like, okay, y'all, it's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right in it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's all good in the neighborhood. So yeah, we'll rest here for a little bit. We'll probably end the show around maybe 2:38, 2 hours and 38 minutes. And then I'll read y'all the Daily Motivator, and then we'll head on out of here. But another great live tonight. And like I said, everything I'm saying is alleged in my opinion for entertainment purposes only. For these two companies to merge would be, my God. I mean, they would have to do some remote positions at this point. My God. And I think SiriusXM has a studio in New York, and so does iHeartMedia. So, like, y'all not going to consolidate both of those studios, because the iHeart studio, when you walk down the hallway, you guys saw that with the Just Hilarious announcement. They got, like, spotlights in the hallway. It's really, really cool. And, of course, not iHeart, but SiriusXM studios are really cool, too. So, listen, I'm not in charge, unfortunately. It's a travesty, a disgrace, and a shame. But at least I can give my media takes right here with all of you. So yes, indeed, there. So, as we get ready to wrap up, what a week it has been. We still got Tuesday and Friday to go, everybody. So yes, be back here for more content per usual. Wow, you know what I mean? So yes, indeed. So yeah, always something going on over here. So yes, good stuff. All right, y'all, let me get y'all the Daily Motivator, and then we will head on out of here. Like I said, I really wanted to just be with this destination for a minute, because I knew I was going to talk about it. That was a fact. I was definitely going to talk about it. The thing with me is I need to find the inch, right? I need to be able to make that a mile. So if I can do that, I'm good with content, right? And it's important for you to be able to bring something original than jumping on it first. So, but hey, to each their own, right? Okay. Acting on a good idea is better than just having a good idea. Robert Half. Acting on a good idea is better than just having a good idea. Acting on a good idea is better than having a good idea. I very well agree with that, Robert Half. Let's get to it, because it's time for the Daily Motivator. Let me read this one on camera, because it looks like it's going to be a good one. It's time for the Daily Motivator for Wednesday, April 29th, 2026. Vision and persistence. If it's not possible to make a lot of progress, you can find ways to make a little progress. When it's impossible to make a little progress, at least you can keep from losing ground. Every effort matters, even when the results are less than spectacular. Though the going may be slow, you're better off when you keep going anyway. There are many times when conditions won't work in your favor. Nonetheless, you can choose to work in your favor. At some point, you're sure to hit a smoother stretch of road. Eventually, your perseverance will begin to pay off. Remind yourself while you're doing what you do. Keep your focus on the objective and put your energy into moving steadily toward it. Those times when the value seems so far away are the times when your vision and persistence matter most. Keep going. Bring that value to life route one. So let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Vision and persistence. I always say consistency plus tenacity equals your destiny. That's my life formula. And every effort matters, even when the results are less than spectacular. We got to 1 million views. Every single live stream, every single video, every single short was like a separated finger. But when you put them together, it's a mighty fist, right? And I believe that strategy works because the race is not given to the swift nor the strong. It's to those who endure, right? I pray that Braylon Lee's virtual tour live, that's the big show, but the brand is Braylon Lee's virtual tour. But either way, the show and the brand, what I pray it does is it creates a space where we can ask, could the industry change? And we bring people on that may not be known to everybody, but they're known to somebody. Maybe they just need the shot to be heard. And finally, maybe we're not so much alone as we allow ourselves to be. You know what I mean? So that's why I hope for, with the vision, persistence of who I am, that will grow this platform. Because guess what? If I did this live on TV tonight, Variety and all of them would be taking this and posting it. That's what really makes me excited about this brand when it becomes a TV show, to be able to do concepts like this on live TV. And then the next day, the whole industry's talking about it. And they're like, Braylon gave another great idea to the industry. Okay, all right, so we got to talk about it. Guys, okay, Braylon's saying we're dumbasses, and this is what we need to do. What do you think? I really don't like Braylon because he gives really, really, really good ideas that makes us look like the dumbasses that he calls us. I'm not calling y'all dumbasses. I'm calling y'all dumbass behavior. Okay, there's a difference. That's the first thing. Every effort matters, even when the results are less than spectacular. Just because they're not spectacular results doesn't mean you're not making any progress. That's the first thing I want to tell you. Second thing I want to tell you is this. At some point, you're sure to hit a smoother stretch of road. If you can't handle where you are, you're not going to be able to handle where you're going. If you can't handle where you are, you're not going to be able to handle where you're going. If you can't handle where you are, you're not going to be able to handle where you're going. And I think that's really important to recognize that it's okay to fall. It's okay to fail. It's okay not to have all the answers. But just don't stay there, right? That's the second thing I want to tell you. And finally, the biggest thing is remind yourself why you're doing what you do. Remind yourself of doing what you do. Remind yourself of doing what you do. Like I always say, just because we're not being seen by everybody doesn't mean we're not being seen by who needs to see us, right? And I believe that if you care about the quality of who you are, that will be reciprocated. And sometimes, and really 10 times out of 10, in order for you to get a blessing from God, it takes time. If you want something quick, fast, and in a hurry, accept a curse from the devil. I promise you, it will be broken, it will be tired, and it will be in disarray. Blessings take time. Curses come quickly. Blessings take time. Curses come quickly. Blessings take time. Curses come quickly. So, with that being said, everybody, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say one more special, because you are always one blessed and trust. You may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Wise one thing, call yourself. It's never been chosen. One love, much love, all love. I spend time with you. You spend time with me. Hopefully, I spend time together. Rise great. Yeah. And always remember what you're doing. Radio, television, YouTube, living your best life. Or, you're just letting Disney know they're just leaving money on the table. Just letting radio industry know that, hey, maybe you might need to make a new format that is of the culture, that is for the culture, of the culture, and by the culture. And by having that will actually fuel your talk radio stations. Because your talk radio stations, wherever they talk about, that culture radio format will be talking about on their stations. And wherever music is happening, jumping on those music stations will feed back to the culture station. So think about this: music industry goes into talk radio, culture. So culture feeds off of talk and music and everything in between. Make sure the replay is not just for if you watch it, not just for you listen to it, but if you want to experience it again. I love you, I value you, I make sure I always remember, see love you gotta give it, see love you gotta give it, see love you gotta give it. Wherever obstacles will come, where success you have achieved about this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you, but no one's as proud of you. Be proud of your damn self, y'all. And finally, y'all, today I gotta tell you, we had 5 fouls at my job. Thank God it was 5. Sometimes it's 6 or 7. Yes, I know the joke well, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, I know. But I gotta tell you something. Toward the end of my shift, I was running on fumes, but I was still focused. So if you ran on fumes today and you still made it through, I just want to say to you, get up for you here. Congratulations. We both made it through something today. But also remember too, listen to your body. It's like an alarm telling you something's not right here, in the words of Tony Braxton. Thank God we have to rest so we can be able to do what we were chosen to do. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessings on the way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as a people, as culture. I feel the love. And I'll send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Bye.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you, and you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you, and you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you, and you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours. Good evening.
Are video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make. Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call the people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stings a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money and my mom is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. It doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination. beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
I've been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content.
Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all